Hey, what's up guys? So in front of me here I have the QQQ, which is pretty much a representation of what's happening in the overall market today. It's finishing red on the day. It's down about 2%. And so it's 3:10 p.m. right now. The markets are still open, but we're headed into that end of day. So pretty much the entire day today, it was pretty much just fading. And it's pretty crazy to think that even when the overall markets are fading, you can still be profiting on trades if your entries are good. That's what I want to show you guys later on in this video on CREX, how I profited on CREX, what my plan was, and as well as GINAs. They were both really hot today, up 60-70%. But until that time, I just want to show you guys what else I did throughout the day in terms of trades. So first thing in the morning, I always look for panics. I love morning panics. I build my entire account on that. It's my bread and butter. And I was able to find it on EMAN. So pretty much right out of the morning, it panicked from 83 cents down to the low 70s, which is about 12-13%. I caught it in the low 70s and sold it at about 77 or 78, I forget. Long story short, 7% profit right out of the gate. My next trade was WTRH. This is WTRH, and right here, if you look at the morning and until about 11 a.m., it was fading all day long, all morning long. I made a video on morning fades called How I Profited on BCRX. If you didn't see that video, go check it out. It explains a lot of what I did. Pretty much this was the exact same play that I made yesterday on BCRX. I found the bottom at 266 and I sold at 286, making 20 cents a share. I also had to cut losses quickly on ARPO. If you look at it, it did the exact same thing as WTRH. It just faded all morning, but I didn't have the best entry, therefore I couldn't really get the bounce. Also, there wasn't no really decent bounce on this stock. So maybe later on in the future, I'll make a video on why WTRH was able to bounce, why something like ARPO wasn't able to bounce, and how to spot that in the future. So to the two main stocks, the CREX, I actually did a live trading video on this. While I was in my trade, I was recording my screen. I realized that between CREX and GINAs, the video was going to be really long and confusing. I guess I'll just add a little clip of me taking profits and getting really excited. So hold on one second. I wanted to get it out at the high 580s, maybe at 590. Obviously, I didn't get filled in the high 80s. Alright, so given the overall markets, I'm not gonna be going too aggressive. I'm okay to get out right here. Order filled. Perfect, got filled at 573. It could keep breaking out easily. That's what it looks like right now. I'm totally okay with that. Look, 590s. Oh, that's beautiful right there. I'm not even mad. I'm just impressed. Wow. So that was me taking profits on CREX. If you guys wanted to know what my plan was going into that trade, then stay tuned. I'm going to show it right now. So I have CREX right here, and I'll also be talking about GINAs at the same time. Why? They're two different stocks, but one same pattern, one same strategy on both of those stocks. So in the next few minutes, I'm going to be explaining the two things I was looking out for and the two things that I was cautious not to do on these, which are common mistakes that I see traders make all the time and they get faked out all the time. So starting in the beginning, so this is CREX. It had its morning run up, right? That was its initial run up. It got halted, tons of volume, tons of gain on it. And then right here is where people start to get faked out. After the drop, it started creeping back up again, and people were expecting it to break this 560 area. That's well and all, but the problem is if you're buying at the top right here, my question is, what are you doing when that drop comes? You should be cutting losses quickly, but the problem is your entry is way up there. So for example, I never do that. It's one of my rules not to do, but at the same time, I have to admit, I have to be honest, it was really tempting not to do it the second time. During midday again, it looked like it was about to break out. It had its volume and everything. It had everything going for it. I really wanted to buy it for the anticipation of the breakout, but I remembered my rules. Don't buy your entire position at the very top, because what are you going to do if it, in this case, triple tops? So I was happy that it wasn't able to break out. It did back down, and I started adding in on the dips. So one of the things that I did on this chart was I recognized that this chart has legs to keep going. How did I know that? Volume was up there. Midday, when traders usually don't like trading because volume fades, there's a lot of fake outs, as we can see right here. But midday, I recognize that it still has legs to keep going. It still has volume. I'm going to try and anticipate that breakout. But I didn't want to get in at the very top, so I started adding a small position on the dips. That is the number one thing that I would be doing all the time when I'm trying to get in on breakouts. I'll be adding in on dips, and that way you can control your risk. Long story short, after adding in throughout the afternoon, even though it was midday, I had my risk management in place. And when it was finally able to break out, you guys saw that clip, how I tried to get out at 580, 590. I couldn't really. I had to chase weakness a little bit at 570. Long story short, on corrects, I profited 13%. That is a really good profit when you're taking a trade. I usually aim for 10 to 15%. 13% is awesome, considering that right now it's starting to fade. Going to Genus, different stock, same pattern. This one is actually interesting near the end, and I'll explain why. But over here in the morning, had its initial run up. I didn't touch it when it was about to be breaking out. When I realized that it has legs, once it started to kind of uptrend throughout the entire day, it held its morning gains throughout midday right here. I recognized that it's able to keep going, so I started adding in small positions on the dips. That way my risk management was in place. If I was going to get faked out, I probably wouldn't have lost anything. It's just I would have broke even, most likely. So as I got my position, I think I had my position at 95 cents actually. Yeah, I had it at 95 cents. I was scared that it was going to double top, that I wouldn't be able to break out given the overall market conditions. Therefore, I took I sold half of my position and took the profits at this level, at the double top, at about 103, I believe. Then I still had the rest of my position that I was able to ride stress-free. So if it was able to break out, great, I get more profit. If it wouldn't be able to hold that $1 level, I'd sell and I'd still be out for a profit. But it was funny, as I was editing this video, my plan for Genus was I wanted to actually hold this overnight because my entry was so good. The overall chart is really good on the daily and on the intraday. I'm like, man, I'm going to hold it overnight, but just in case it gets to the 120s, I'll put an order in. So as I was editing my video, I got filled at $1.21. Which I totally forgot my order was still open at that point. But it was cool. I got filled. This was a 14% profit on this trade. So if you're looking on my overall trades on the day, I had a 7% profit on the morning panic. I had another 10-ish% profit on WTRH, 13% profit on this, 14% profit on Crex, and then I lost 3% on one trade. And that right there is the beauty of cutting losses quickly. If you can cut losses really quickly, you can focus on good trades, and those will bring you the good percent profits right there. So if you like this video, if you like the content, please like and subscribe. It'll help me to keep these videos going, giving tips and tricks of how I trade on the markets every day. Thank you.